Number 10. Light Crusader. I'll start this top with what I consider to be the Genesis 1995 trilogy. This is an action RPG that plays from an isometric view with quick and responsive controls. It stands out because of its puzzles, of going back and forth to unlock a door or press a switch, etc. It has a solid story even though it barely focuses on it. I remember the opening sequence being somewhat impressive in animation, but very funny for some reason. Anyway, Light Crusader is a cool game to play and definitely one of the best of 1995. Number 9. Beyond Oasis. Another action RPG, but this one plays from a top-down view perspective. It's also more of a beat-em-up where you can attack with a consecutive combo. Using spells from the 4 elemental powers plays a major role in the game. Just like in Light Crusader, there is a good written story, but it doesn't really stand out. Beyond Oasis is mostly about the gameplay with its fantastic graphics, sprite animations, and some neat-looking dungeons. Number 8. Crusader of Sint. Yet another action RPG. So this is why I call these 3 games as the Genesis 95 trilogy, because they're action RPGs that focus more on the gameplay than its story. Crusader of Sint was the name for the North American release. It was called Soleil in Europe and originally as New Genesis Ragna Senti in Japan. It's pretty much a clone of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, but very well done and with stronger RPG elements. Also with the inclusion of recruiting animals to fight by your side. It's a fun game and unfortunately one of the most expensive RPGs on the Genesis nowadays. Number 7. Ogre Battle: March of the Black Queen. This marks the start of an iconic but small franchise created by Yasumi Matsuno, a real-time strategy RPG that revolves around managing small platoons and conquering territories. For that, you advance with your commanders all around these big maps. Occasionally, they'll get into a fight with enemies. Battles will now play in turns, but out of your control. All you can do is set their strategies during the intermissions and decide what type of soldiers or creatures will be under which commander. It's all about micromanagement, but it's so addictive and fun to play. Without a doubt, a unique RPG and one of the best of 1995. Number 6. Lunar: Eternal Blue. 1,000 years after the events of the Silver Star, this sequel follows the adventures of Hero and Lucia in a quest to stop an evil being. Eternal Blue plays very much like its predecessor, but with slightly improved graphics and, of course, fully voiced animated cutscenes. Also infamous for its, well, nude scenes. Yeah. A great turn-based RPG, underrated icon of the genre, and one of the best JRPGs of 1995. Number 5. Earthbound. A sequel to a game called Mother. That one remained in Japan until its Wii U digital release. Now, Earthbound is one of the most bizarre RPGs ever created. It takes place in a modern setting with the adventures of Ness and his friends. They get involved into all kinds of wacky situations with all kinds of crazy characters. However, the core of the game is its turn-based battle system played from a first-person view. This fun and obnoxious RPG became a major influence in the genre, as it is remarkable for its charming and strange story. Number 4. Breath of Fire 2. One of the hardest JRPGs on the Super Nintendo, big grindfest with an atrocious encounter rate. Nonetheless, it is a fantastic sequel to its iconic predecessor. following the orphans Ryu and Bo into teenhood, embarking on a quest with Nina from the Winged Clan. An improved battle system was there as it felt more polished. It's tough as nails, but the game grabs you if you prevail and doesn't let you go. Overall, a great sequel on the amazing Super Nintendo. Number 3. Shining Force CD. This is a compilation of Shining Force Gaiden, two games that are direct sequels to the original Shining Force. The first one follows the adventures of the sons of the first game and their companions against the convoluted Kingdom of Cypress after they kidnapped Queen Henri. She was one of the main characters in Shining Force 1. The second game takes after the events of this one, originally released in North America in 1994 for the Game Gear. Gameplay-wise, both are almost identical. Interface is excellent, feeling more polished than its predecessors on the Genesis. Still with that great battle system, so remarkable for its time and a quintessential influence for many RPGs to come. Number 2. Chrono Trigger. The popular game that brought together the developers of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Many different amazing people work on this enormous project that ended up becoming one of the most historically important JRPGs of all time. Incredible soundtrack, excellent script, charismatic cast of characters, and a memorable battle system to never forget. Number 1. Phantasy Star 4: The End of the Millennium. I don't care what you say, to me the masterpiece that is Phantasy Star 4 deserves the throne of 1995. The game not only became a closure to a major science fiction saga of RPGs, but also the epitome of the series. Everything was done right, from the beautiful graphics to its mind-blowing futuristic soundtrack, way ahead of its time. An exceptional plot with an illustrious party of characters also made a big contribution to its glory. And those manga-style cutscenes, man, they were a very unique way to tell the story. While Chrono Trigger was more of a beginner's RPG, Phantasy Star 4 became a legend among hardcore players. In my eyes, the best video game of 1995. From a historical perspective, both games are equally amazing, so feel free to give the crown to whichever you feel like. I'm staying with my favorite Genesis RPG, while I await to see you with the PlayStation era in 1996.